Okay? You're going to have to do the same thing we did yesterday. If we multiply by a negative, what happens?
You have to flip the sign.
You flip your sign, okay? If you multiply by a positive, what happens?
You keep the sign the same.
It stays the same. Your sign stays the same. Same goes for today with dividing. So if you divide by a negative on both sides of your inequality, you're going to flip your sign over. If you divide by a positive on both sides of your inequality, you're going to leave your sign the same. Okay? So I'm going to give you this first one we're going to do. This is like example 3 in the book because it's the second half of the lesson. But I'm going to give you kind of a word problem here. Okay? You decide you want to make a little extra money so that you can go to the mall and buy Christmas presents for all your family because you love them so much, right? So you decide, I'm going to walk dogs. I'm going to be a dog walker. You earn, as a dog walker, $4.50 per dog. Okay. How many dogs do you need to walk How many dogs do you need to walk to earn at least, okay, at least being a key set of words here, because that helps you to know which symbol you're using. How many dogs do you need to walk to earn at least $75? Okay, so you're hoping to earn $75. It's $4.50 per dog. How many dogs do you need to walk? So the first thing you have to do is you have to set up an inequality. Anyone want to give it a shot what that inequality might look like? Or give me part of the setup. Greater than or equal to? What'd you say, Jayla? Greater than or equal to is right as long as you're thinking the same way I'm thinking in terms of which comes first. The 450 coming first or the 75? 450, right. Okay, so 450, what do we have to do with that 450? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. What's our variable? What are we talking about here? Dogs, right? We're talking about dogs. So if we call it D, it's 450 per dog. So 450 times the number of dogs, right? Ryan said it's got to be greater than or equal to. Do you agree with that? 450 times the number of dogs has to be greater than or equal to what number? 75. If we want to earn $75, that would be our setup. Okay? So you set it up. That's your inequality. What do I do? You divide by what? By 450. So you're going to divide on both sides by 450. This 450 is going to cancel. Okay? Am I going to flip my symbol right now? No. So D is greater than or equal to 75 divided by 450 comes out to 16 2/3. Okay, or 16.6, sorry, repeating. Here's the question. Think about this one before you answer, okay? How many dogs would you have to walk?
17.
17. Why?
Because 16 is just going to make like less
A
than
little bit less, right? And you can't walk 2/3 of a dog, right?
I mean,
Well, maybe if you count legs being missing as a fraction of a dog, but we're not going to walk a part of a dog, right? So you need at least 17 dogs to make $75. Hopefully you're not walking all 17 at the same time. That would be bad. Okay, questions on that? It's a lot of poop to pick up. No, that was my dog's like cue. Every time we went on a walk, it was like, oh, gonna poop now. That's nice. Okay, example 4.
thought that if I didn't feed too much, it would just die from not eating.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Nate.
then when I was this when I was 8 years old, so then I fed it too much, and then before it even had its babies, like
It was
just,
pregnant?
It was pregnant?
No, it wasn't pregnant yet. I mean, it wasn't pregnant.
He just said.
I know.
Nate, did no one believes it?
All right, here we
It
go.
actually exploded.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. What are the solutions of this? So you have negative 9y is less than or equal to 63. So if I want to solve for y,
Flip the sign.
you're going to have to flip the sign because we're doing what?
Dividing.
You're dividing by a negative. So divide by negative 9, divide by negative 9. This is gone. You get y. And here's where you have to be really careful. I know you see this and you think flip the sign, but it's so easy to just move the sign down and forget to flip it, even after you told yourself flip it, okay? So if I were you, flip it right away. It's just helpful. So greater than or equal to 63 divided by negative 9. Anyone know? Negative 7. Good mental math. Okay, so that would be your answer, and then you would graph it. Here's negative 7. Open or close dot? Close dot, and what direction are we going? To the right. It's greater than or equal to negative 7. Okay? How about this one? 8x is less than or equal to negative 64. Am I going to flip my sign?
Yes. Yes. No, not right now. No.
We're not, okay? Here's the deal. Yes, there is a negative in this problem, but am I dividing both sides by a negative? No, okay? So be careful with that, because a lot of people make that mistake and they flip it because they see a negative in the problem. That's not how it works. You have to divide on both sides by a negative, and that will flip your sign, okay? But this one, because you're dividing by a positive 8, you don't flip it. So this is x is less than or equal to negative 64 divided by 8 would be negative 8. And that would be your answer. Okay, so it's fine that there's a negative there. You don't flip the sign. You only flip it if both the numbers you're dividing by are a negative number. Okay? Ryan, put your iPad away. Any questions on that? Okay, when do you flip your sign?
When they're divided by a negative.
When you are multiplying or dividing by a negative on both sides. Okay? Okay, that's your first lesson.